Guess what? I had a therapy appointment. Yes, I did. It's been a while. I haven't. I'm trying to think when the last time I had a therapy appointment was, and it's probably back in maybe June, maybe May of last year. And I'm feeling kind of good about it, as feelings go for me. I guess it's weird. Language is weird, right? Like I think I'm 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 prone to saying things like I feel good about it, or I feel bad, or I feel this, or I feel that. And in fact, I don't really feel those things. It's just maybe I do, and I just don't understand it. I guess like maybe I do feel good about it, and I don't recognize that it's a good feeling. I think it's getting complicated. um, so yeah, I guess I feel good about it. I'm really stumbling over this one, aren't I? Well, it seemed to go well, and there seems to be promise in this new therapist, and I'll talk about how that appointment went when we get into the show. I just wanted to start out with that because it's promising and it's hopeful. And with one session, right? So what do you really know after one session? But I think I think there's a lot of promise. I think there's a lot of more like that Alex therapist who I had. So yay for therapy, yay for this, yay for that. Uh, it's early and the sun is not up yet, and the heater in my car is running, so I apologize for that noise. I am. I couldn't sleep, so I got up, got on the scale, came to work, waiting for the store to open. So here I am. It's Friday, January 22nd, 2021, and as of this recording, I'm still depressed, but I'm not dead. You know, it's it's the 22nd, which means yesterday was the 21st, which means it was the anniversary. And I to be honest, I didn't think about it even once yesterday, which is good. I acknowledged it heading up into, I talked about it in my therapy session. I talked about it last weekend when I spoke to you all. And it's not a thing, right? But it's not a thing anymore. It's faded into the background. It's faded away, and I don't think it'll ever go the way of a lot of my memories. And did I do that or didn't I do that? I'm pretty sure I'll remember the situation of trying to end everything. So yeah, I'm six years sober, we'll call it. That's probably disrespectful to those who struggle with addiction. So I apologize for that. Strike that from the record, please. I am, so there's that. I guess that's a thing that happened, a thing that didn't happen yesterday at all while I was working and walking and working and picking up my new glasses. So just a really mundane kind of day, which it should be. I mean, well, it shouldn't be. I mean, we shouldn't strive for our days to be mundane, I suppose. But it wasn't a day of anything remarkable, based upon past events in my life. So woohoo, go me. um, So yeah, it's a Friday, which is a little early for me to record, but I'm going to pick up the girls tomorrow after I get up and do my walk and blah, 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 whatnot. And I don't know that I'll have time. I won't have time tomorrow because I'll be, too obsessed with getting out to get them at a good time so I can get back at a good time, blah, blah, blah. And Sunday, I don't know. I'm kind of torn between when I'm going to do my long walk, which is taking the place of my long run because my knee is still wonky and really painful when I go upstairs. A little less so when I go downstairs. And when I go for my walks, it generally alternates between where it hurts on my knee day to day. So, but I think better than last week, and I'm hoping better still next week. And I've got on the calendar somewhere when I'm going to run, but it's basically 2 weeks from tomorrow, and then like 5 days after that, I have a scheduled appointment to go visit an ortho doctor about knee pain. And I think I talked about this. The thinking is that hopefully when I go to run Saturday and then Sunday, it's pain-free, but if it's not, then I've got the appointment already scheduled to go in and say, hey. So we'll see. Fingers crossed for that. So therapy. Yeah, I had the therapy appointment. I didn't plan out the schedule very well, as I set it for 6 p.m., which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm not apt to have my virtual distance therapy session from home, right? I don't feel like, Nora is still working, so my bedroom is out. The rest of the house is kind of cavernous, and I'm not really interested in that. I have my girls' room, but I can clearly hear the people upstairs while they're doing things when I'm in there trying to take a nap, when I try to nap in there, because it's so cozy warm when the heat turns on. Oh my gosh, it's so good. And so I'm not so happy about that. So I like recording my podcast. I take my virtual sessions in the car, and it's dark at 6 p.m. here, and I hadn't really planned on that so well. So lighting was a bit of an issue, not the best. But Megan, the therapist, was quite gracious about it, and basically was like, well, it's really, voice is a lot of what we're trying to get through today. I'm not going to worry about, facial expressions and things like that, which is all part of therapy, I think, right? There's a reason why it's not necessarily done over the phone in COVID world. And so we talked. It was a lot of like, hey, JP, I'm here, and I understand that I'm auditioning for you, and we're just going to do some talking, and why don't you tell me why you come to therapy? Have you done therapy before? And I was like, when haven't I done therapy? And I explained to her what was going on about my diagnoses, and how I feel like this is old hat, right? Like the depression is still there, but it's not my biggest issue, and how relieved I've been since the suicidal ideations have gone away. And I've got this avoidant personality disorder, and I saw her reach for a diagnostic book. I was like, oh boy, because I have not had much luck in finding therapists who, they'll deal with personality disorders, but, avoidant personality disorder, what's that? And she got the book out, she put it down on her lap, and then, I told her how, she's like, well, why do you think, why is it avoidant personality disorder over social or generalized anxiety disorder? And which I was like, ooh, kudos for you. Like, that these two are very close to each other. And I explained to her, and I told her, like, we took the MMPI, and this is what came back, and I did what we shouldn't do, and tried diagnosing over the internet, and did the diagnosing criteria, and like I hit them all 7 for 7. And And then we just kind of talked for a little bit. She's like, "Tell me about what you feel and how it affects you." And I'm, this and that, and I'm terribly afraid of everything, and I feel like everybody's out to get me, and like everyone is going to, like every question given to me is like someone trying to expose me for the fraud that I am. And she's like, "Yeah, kind of an imposter syndrome." And yeah, kind of, but no, it's not so much. So like imposter syndrome happens, in my experience listening to podcasts and reading things, is like with scientists who feel like, or doctors, and like they feel like I'm not qualified to do this, and they feel like they're an imposter in their field. And yeah, I feel that way, but it's not based around my status as an employee, as a worker in the world. It's based around me, my existence in the world, right? And I just it's like imposter syndrome, but it's like body snatchers imposter syndrome, like lifelong world view, world existence, existential kind of imposter syndrome. And then, later on, she's like, "You know what? I was looking, everything you said, like you checked off all 7 of these." I was like, "Yeah, I told you, that's me to a T. It's not rare, but it's not common that someone would hit all 7. And I'm not bragging. I'm not gloating. I'm not special because I am just that messed up that I check all the boxes. But, yeah, so we talked about that. We got to like my feelings and how I just don't, like, I'm not in touch with them. I don't experience them. I don't understand them. I talked about the exception to that is it was, those times of fear when I was worried about my kids and falling off a boat and nuclear war and kind of things where I just like felt deep in my gut that, oh God, this is terrible. And, and then I talked about my dad and this and that. And, yeah, she asked me a very specific question, which is something I had thought of before. I don't know that I've talked about it on here before, and I'm a little reluctant to bring it up on here, just based on those who I know who listen to the show. But she asked me, "How do you know that you love your wife, Nora, if you don't know your feelings?" And like, I don't know, like the notion of romantic love is lost on me, right? I mean, I can go through all the reasons that there's something fundamentally different about our relationship to where I can talk to her and pretty much not feel like I'm under scrutiny, right? Like I feel like I can tell her a lot of things, and there's a lot of things I don't tell her, and there's every now and then when it's like, "Oh God, why is she asking me this?" And it's always like the dumbest thing. It's like, "How's your day look tomorrow?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay." She's gonna realize that I don't, like, my work is worthless, and when I go for a walk, that's a stupid idea, and whatever. Like every now and then that hits me hard, but I I had to tell her, I said, I don't know necessarily what like romantic, platonic, fraternal, I don't know, love is. I talk about my girls all the time, and like I know that they are all special to me. I know that, but I don't feel that. And it's a strange thing. And, and then of course we talked about like, briefly we touched on like sociopath, psychopath, and clearly, and I don't have any, I think I talked about it before. Like at one point I was worried, like, is this me? Like, can you turn into that at a later state of life? And, the general feeling, idea there is that like a psychopath, sociopath doesn't know that they need help. Like they wouldn't seek out help. And, whereas I understand that these are deficiencies and whatnot. And she asked me, how long it's been. Like, I remember, like, as a teenager, like, having deep guttural feelings, like, and maybe they were so sappy, but like girlfriends and I love you and I'm in love with you. I don't just love you. And, being so mad at someone. I don't know if I was mad or what, but I was so distraught, emotional that I punched the metal front door and I left little dents in it. Not enough that mom and dad ever noticed, but enough to where my hand hurt for a little bit. And I remember things like that. I remember when my firstborn was a baby, and I remember like having times of crying, for what I thought of at the time was because I was so happy spending time with her. I wonder now if it was like fear of, oh my gosh, I'm going to screw this up. I don't know. I don't want to question it too much because I like the idea of thinking that it was because I was so happy with her. But so there's been time, so something has changed over the years, and we both wonder if it's just like, and we've talked about this too. It seems like I'm old hat anymore on this podcast. But what if my brain has figured out a way to protect me from feelings, protect me from being hurt. And so I just like shut down feelings like before they even start, or I just like they all get funneled away somewhere down beneath my amygdala. Does that make sense? That's a part of the brain, right? So, we wonder about that. And if that's true, how do we access that? How do we like undo those pathways? And we talked about a lot of things, and she said that she was really at the end of it all, and she's like, okay, I would be really honored if, I see your name pop up on my schedule again. And, I think there's a lot of interesting things that we can do. And I'm like, okay, great. I didn't say, hey, I'm coming back. I just kind of let that hang. But like, I have already made a second appointment with her, and I was a little disappointed that I couldn't get one for next week. I had to do it for the week after, and I keep reminding myself every day to look into the week after that now and see what's available so I can kind of get ahead of time scheduling. And, she's looking forward to exploring and helping. And, I really appreciated her attitude about it, and it just seemed like a good fit. So I'm hopeful. Boy, that was a long way to go around. That I'm hopeful about my therapy, my new therapist, because she's mine now. You can't have her. That was dumb. So that happened, and that was just the other day. What's today? Today's Friday. I think it was Tuesday. So, I've had time to let it fester in the back of my brain, and I think it has potential to be a really beneficial experience for me. So I'm looking forward to that. I told you I got on the scale this morning. Fridays is my official weigh-in day, and I lost a couple more pounds this past week, which is good. I am scheduled to be at 200 pounds maybe by next Friday. It depends. Like I said, the girls are coming, and we tend to cook, bake, and have snacky things around like Oreos. So my firstborn is not celiac, but has celiacs, but seems to be gluten sensitive. So Oreos just came out with a gluten-free version of their cookie, their delicious cookie, which of course I bought 2 packages of the double stuff because If you just get single stuff, you're lame. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that makes you not come back to the podcast, but it's true. Double stuff is the way to go. Triple stuff is pushing it, and then mostest stuff is probably just too much. You might as well just eat a jar of cream at that point. So I'm hopeful that's good. I've already sent them a message saying we're making peanut butter brownies with chocolate icing, and not to mention that we cook meals. There's cooked meals every day, generally, which isn't always the case when they're not here. It's easier for me to eat so-called diet food when we're like everybody's fending for themselves. But yeah, so it might be a little difficult to lose the required amounts to be at 200 a week from today. But I'm going to try. I'm going to see. On top of that, though, is I might be doing some traveling next week with work, which I feel kind of bad because then the girls are hanging out at my house without me there. But their mom is, getting a nice week away. She had planned it. I'm hoping to bring the girls, but neither of the girls were really that interested in it. And it's just an experience that she enjoys doing. So she's, and I believe she had already paid for it as well, which always helps with the enjoying of an event if you are going to lose the money if you don't do it. So she's still going to do that. And so the option to bring the girls home is not there. So they get along well enough with Nora's kids and Nora themselves. Well enough. They get along really well. And so that's okay. But the idea of me traveling means I probably won't be quite as active, going for extra walks. And I tend to take the path of least resistance and just eat pizza, which will make it rough to weigh in. And I've lost weight eating pizza and snacks and whatnot. But, we're going to see. It's like I tell people that I bump into online looking to lose weight with me or as well as me. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. And it sounds cliche, but it really is. A bump in the road here is not a condemnation on your ability to be more fit. So, another thing that, I didn't talk to Megan, the therapist, about this show just yet because it seemed just a lot of information was going, right? We're really kind of trying to pack as much in from my side so that she has a good understanding of what she's potentially dealing with. And, we talked about the medication that kind of took away my ideations. And she said, tell more people. Like, I know everything is not a chemical issue, but it certainly can help and can be important and can be valuable. And so that's renewed my interest. I'm not one to say, go and get medicated. That's what's going to cure you. But I'm going to say explore it and talk to your doctor and try to be willing to experiment. And if you are on medication and you're just like, it's not doing it for you, change. Medication can be scary. It can be frightening. There's always that kind of down point when you're between medications or like one's coming down and one's just going up and whatever, but try it, make plans, get a hold of your friends, say, hey, this is what's happening. I may need you to check in on me every day for a little bit just to give me a chuck on the shoulder kind of thing. But at least explore it and give it a try because, I'm proof positive that it can be a wonderful thing. And yeah, I'm going to leave you with that because I'm not a shill for Big Pharma. I wish I were a shill for Big Pharma and they were lining my pockets with lots of money. I wouldn't mind that so much, mostly because I like to have extra money so things are more comfortable. And I actually believe in pharmacology for myself. So there it is. Get a hold of me. Let me know what you think, how big a shill you think I am. Email me, jamulkey@gmail.com, facebook.com/jamulkey, @jamulkey on Twitter and Instagram, www.jamulkey.info. That's JAMOALKI. Or you can text me in the U.S., 248-648-1419, worldwide on WhatsApp, +1 248-648-1419. Get a hold of me. Let me know how you're doing, how you think the show is going. Give me a review. Give me 5 stars. Do something. Help someone else find the show if you think it has value. That's it. I appreciate everybody for listening. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. And till next time, be safe and be well.